Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad that you're here, and I'm glad that aging gets to go first because we are the #1 specialty. Haha. So I am very excited to get to talk to you about aging. And there's a few kind of guiding questions that I'm just going to talk through since this is speed dating. I don't have a full presentation. But why students should choose the aging specialty. There's several things, but I will say that it is incredibly rewarding working with older adults. You're serving and collaborating and learning from people who have paved the way for the younger generation. Being able to soak up that wisdom and contribute and give back that way is very fulfilling. It's also not boring. Oftentimes I would, tell someone that I was a social worker working, in more of a geriatric setting, and they would kind of assume that it was boring, but I guarantee you the shenanigans that we get up to throughout the life course continue into our later years as well. And there is lots of overlap with other things you might be interested in, like health or mental health. And so just because you pick aging doesn't mean that you can't also incorporate some of those other areas, policy, for example, that are relevant to the aging population. And it's very in demand. So there are 10,000 Americans that turn 65 every day. It's one of the fastest growing fields of social work, and there are a lot of job opportunities in many different settings, which I'll talk about in a moment. With our aging specialty specifically, we have many different faculty with a broad range of both practice and research experience in aging. In fact, I believe we have the highest ratio in terms of faculty who specialize in aging versus the number of students that are in that concentration. And so there's great opportunities to learn from their wisdom. We have this cohort model that really allows you to do networking and building community and friendships, and having online courses makes it extra flexible as well. A couple classes in our specialty area that you might be interested in are 5335, which is Aging in American Society. Actually did some revisions to this curriculum recently to meet the Quality Matters specifications, basically a stamp for excellence in online education. And I have been teaching it right now, and we created this cool class scrapbook looking at artifacts of aging and how society views aging and being able to critique and respond to that. We also have our family caregiving class, which includes an interprofessional education, experiential learning activity, where you get some of that practical experience working with people in other disciplines, as you often do in aging, especially in a health setting or something like that. In terms of careers that you might have after you focus on this area, I'll just kind of give you a sample of some of the things that I've done related to aging, which includes hospice, working with older adults in a prison setting who have life sentences, who are getting older in the criminal justice system, caregiver support and counseling and therapy with caregivers, aging research, working in long-term care facilities, and doing animal therapy in nursing homes. But aging is a spectrum. There are, of course, active older adults that you might work with in, say, a volunteer program, all the way to the ones that might need the most support in a more of a health, long-term care or hospice setting. There's also, of course, lots of demographics. People of all walks of life grow older, and so there's opportunities to work in many different types of settings, like aging and disability resource centers, area agencies on aging, memory care, adult protective services, nonprofits, and more. So with that, I'm going to pass it off so you can hear firsthand, don't trust me, one of our wonderful students, Jessica Phillips, who is an aging rock star, and she's going to tell you more about her perspective.
Hello, everybody. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm really excited for all of you that you're at the point in your educational journey where you're getting the chance to start looking at the specialties that you want to look at for your master's. I was there not very long ago, so I totally understand. Though aging was kind of a no-brainer for me, I've always had a passion for working with the aging population. I know that's not the typical for most students, as a lot of people will always go back and forth with where they want to specialize their masters. And so I'm glad you're here, and I'm excited to share some of this with you. So I have two sign-off things I always say is aging is where it's at and gerontology rocks. It is. I may be a little biased because I am in the aging cohort, but I always have people ask me, how are you so sure? What made you want to go into the aging field? And I always start with, we're all aging from the time we're born. It's something that has no discrimination against your race or your gender or your culture. It's happening to all of us, and understanding this and helping people age safely and healthily was just something that I knew I was really excited about, and would give me a chance to work with a really wide range of populations in this field. And so whenever I was also looking at aging, I liked how it really encompassed all of the specialties that UTA has to offer. I mean, if you're looking at things like substance use and mental health, the aging cohort is one of the fastest growing cohorts with the substance use and mental health issues. If you're looking at children and families, I was looking up some statistics, and in 2020, it was estimated that 3 million grandparents will be raising their grandchildren, and that over 6 million grandchildren live with a grandparent. So that also encompasses it. And so also, if policies your interest, which I'm not, it wasn't necessarily mine, but I know a lot of people do, is that we have almost 70 million baby boomers that are going to be aging into the old and oldest old cohort. And we need care for these individuals. And if we don't get some policy change and things going right now, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. And so I see that as social worker, it really gives you a wide knowledge base and ability to work with just a variety of people from all walks of life. That was something that I really enjoyed, and was happy about, because I wanted to be able to have that breadth of knowledge to know that I could do anything with it. I could go anywhere. Just kind of like social work, it has that expansive, option to work in a lot of different places. And so those are some of the reasons that I chose the specialty. But some of the things that I particularly like about it, and now that I'm in it, is one of my favorite things is being able to network with some really like-minded people who just have a passion for improving the lives of the aging population. It's something I'm passionate about. I've been waiting for all 4 years of my undergrad to get here so that I could collaborate with some of these amazing professors. And we have some of the leading research people doing research at UTA right now in aging. So that's something that really pulled me towards that as well. And the classes and the professors are just top notch. Professor Magruder talked about aging, which is 5-3-5-5. You really get to touch on maybe some taboo topics that are kind of looked over, sexuality and aging, and how we as a society have become really ageist. And I want to be a part of changing that, because I don't want to be scared to age. I want it to be something that I look forward to and that I'm excited about. And this specialty has made me be able to do that and realize that I can be a part of that change, and we can make aging something that is something that we look forward to. And I like the fact that I'll just put it in again, that you can use this across the whole span of different cohorts in the way you use it. And so finally, I'll make a little plug here for the gerontology organization, which I am vice president of, is that we have a great organization that also goes into this specialty. We meet once a month, and we have volunteer opportunities, and we just give knowledge about how we can help in our own communities in bettering the lives of those around us in the aging community. And so if you are considering aging, or you're still just on the fence about it, we would love for you just to drop in to one of those meetings, check it out, and learn about a little bit more about aging and gerontology, since we're really cut for time here. And we always have a good time. We make aging fun. That's something that I strive to do, and we hope to do. I know a lot of people think about aging and they're like, old people, but it's not all about that. There's a lot more to it, and the breadth of knowledge you get from the aging cohort. So far, I've been super excited. So I appreciate you listening in, and aging rocks.